Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the Automotive podcast for build model cars, but it sure does help. This is going to be episode 41.
Wow, 41.
As we crash through the middle of May here. By the time you see us again, half the year will gone by. Look at that. So we are, of course, the regular people here. Luke was just telling us we're the OGs of the podcast. Yep, that's how that works. And then our special guest down there in the bottom there, all the way from the fine country of Canada, is going to be Luke Jeffery. You may recognize him on Instagram as lukescalemodels. And we will be talking with him tonight about all the things that he does in the hobby, obviously. It's been 2 weeks since everybody was here for us. Mr. Tester, what has been going on?
The Gallery World Championship Cup thing started, so I looked through my stash here and said, what will no one else build? And I decided on a 3D printed TVR Tuscan. So nobody else will build that. So
I had no idea there was even a kit of that.
There isn't. I mean, it's a 3D print, but
yeah, even a 3D print, I didn't even know. I've never seen one. Didn't even know it existed.
It's a really nice print and a lot of good detail in it. So I'm gonna really go all out. This week I put it in primer and then block sanded all the primer off of it just to make sure that everything is absolutely flat. That's the level I'm going to.
What's this contest all about? I'm vaguely even aware of it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a global competition. So I've never competed on a global level, so I don't even compete. But so you're supposed to post every week your progress of how you're going, and it's a 3-month-long contest. So
interesting. And it's not just for cars, right? It's for
no, it's Mac and armor and even 3D rendering.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to say, I believe that like the 3D rendering part is like its own sort of contest. It's not there's the building of it, but there's also a design contest as part of it as well for the people who do that sort of thing.
But they're giving out cash prizes, which is unheard of in this day. So,
what sort of cash prizes?
I believe it's $600 cash.
Not bad. And this is sponsored by Gallery?
It is. It is.
Do you have to use like Gallery airbrush in their paints and everything? Or
they hope that you do. So I'm using Gallery airbrushes through the whole process.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you read the rules, the use of their product is encouraged.
Encouraged.
Not mandatory, but encouraged.
Okay. Luke, are you planning to enter that?
No, probably not. I did read something about it, but I figured I was a little too close to the beginner level for to get into that.
I don't know about I've seen on Instagram. And I wasn't going to enter the contest, but I was curious enough I wanted to actually see some of the progress. And I think you had to sign up to be a member just so you could get into their website and track the progress online. So I did go through that motion. So anyways, yeah, it looks like an interesting contest. Curious to see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some really good stuff.
What are you going to do with your TVR?
I'm going to do a flip paint. It's a Gaia Colors Prism blue, green, turquoise.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So it's a really nice, cool shifting pearl.
Oh, that is cool.
With a cream colored interior.
Nice.
Well, he's gonna build it, Sean. That's what he's gonna do.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if you're just gonna build it out of box or if you're gonna build it.
Like not a whole lot you can do. No, I'm gonna build it as a stock TVR.
Gonna raise it 6 feet up and put it on a trophy truck chassis, and
Luke would turn it into a piece of construction equipment, I think.
You know I would.
But I can't stop printing. So this past week, I printed a Liberty Walk Copen, and that was like one of the coolest cars that I saw at Liberty Walk, and so I had to print it.
I think I saw your video. Is that the little Kai car with looks like a Skyline body kit?
Yep.
Crazy. That's the one you saw in person.
Yeah. So I really want to dig into that, but I really need to focus. So
who makes that kit or that 3D print?
Dirty Customs made the files for that one.
I'm not familiar with them. What?
They did a tuned unicorn. It was pretty cool, and I did that. I put that on my channel, and they did a tuned Mazda RX-7. I put that on my channel as well.
Nice.
So this was, and did I show you the RWB Porsche? I don't know if I showed you that one or not. He did that one too as a full kit.
Okay.
It's got the big wide fenders and my style.
Luke, have you printed anything from Dirty Customs?
I feel like I have but just like small parts, maybe like steering wheels or shifters. I'm just trying to recall. My printer never stops. I got boxes of parts that I'll probably never use.
What happened to James?
Oh, we lost James. That happens from time to
time. Luke, what printer do you use?
I have an Elegoo Mars 5.
Mars 5. Okay.
It's small. The bed's small, but I mean it does the trick for what I've been doing, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I was lucky enough to be sponsored by Elegoo for a while. I haven't heard from them for a while, so I think my guy either gave up on me or moved on to another company. But
he didn't post enough.
Right, maybe. But I got a couple of printers from them, so
yeah,
blessed.
Luke, how did you get into 3D printing?
I just really, there's no one local or local-ish that ships product. Like I know Iceman is a big seller, but I've talked to people, it's like months, and with the tariffs and the border, and it's so expensive to get something up north. It was cheaper for me just to buy a printer.
Figure it out, right?
Yeah, and I mean it's been going pretty good. Out of the box, it's worked. I just recently switched to water wash resin.
Okay.
Just because isopropyl alcohol is also expensive and hard to find in the 99%. So I'm trying this, and it did give me quite a few issues with like just not printing and failing, and I had to
calibrate
the resin, which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah,
but I think we got it figured out there this past week.
I just switched over to their version 2 of the water wash resin, and it's a lot more dense than their regular water wash, and the detail is higher. So I buy the 8K version 2.0, and I really like it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that.
It's about $36 for 2 liters. Or 2 kilograms, excuse me.
That's not bad.
In Canada, it'd probably be like 40, 45.
Yeah. Still, that's fairly cheap.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It takes a little while to go through 2 kilograms.
Sometimes I can push that through in a weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We like to nerd out on 3D printing here on this show. I never considered, but it makes a lot of sense. 3D printing is a great option for somebody like you live in a place where it's not easy to get kits.
Yeah.
Just your own, print your own.
Yeah. It's been good. I got a 10-year-old that he models with me every time I'm out here. He's out here. He's got a bench set up right here.
Rock on.
It's everything I print. I got to print to him because he wants one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sean, I think you're the next one to get a printer.
I got a lot of friends that got printers, so I just
It's like having a boat, right?
I like to hear you guys talk about printing.
The
Put something on your bed for me. Yeah.
two happiest days in 3D printing: when you get buy your printer and when you sell your printer. So like, this stuff is about boats, right?
Right.
No, I swear I keep looking and think about it every time, especially because there's so many cool things on the cults. I get kind of lost I'll spend way too much time kind of digging through catalogs and seeing what people are offering, and like, oh man, I wish I had that part, but I have so much stuff in my stash already. Like, I got plenty of kits. So, but I don't know. Someday, maybe. What I'd really like to just design my own parts from scratch. And do my own
I know you can do that. That's the best part, is you have that knowledge.
Someday, we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of, Andre just came out with a Scout.
I saw that.
I say the 63. Yeah.
I do love those International Harvester trucks, so that's on.
Yeah.
That might be something. One of my friends I have to get one of my friends to print one.
In a Valiant 65.
65 Valiant, yeah. I didn't understand. Well, I mean, didn't understand why we did the Barracuda first, considering the kit just came out of it. I understand that the 3D print has an engine, but like you could have just got a 3D printed engine and put it in the round 2 kit. But the Valiant, at least that's a little different. That's a little something that round 2 is probably not going to do. So
right, and he was talking already about doing a convertible too. So
there was also wagons and sedans of that the Valiant.
Right.
So maybe we'll get around to doing the wagon.
He has done wagons with so many other things. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Luke, are you looking forward? Is that International Harvester Scout on your radar or something you want to build?
I definitely did look at it. I've only printed a couple full bodies, and I'm gonna have to do some more research because I have terrible Z-shift lines, I think it's called.
Okay.
I can't seem to get a body to come out. I did change my layer height recently. Maybe I'll try another one, but I do have some of Andrew's files. I have a new Super Duty and a couple old Chev trucks that I'll have to put through and see if I can't get them a little cleaner.
You need to sit the guy down who's right above you for a little bit. He's figured out all that stuff. He could probably walk you through that.
I can walk you through that.
Have you watched the videos on Mr. Tester's channel where he's working through, showing how to position the bodies and everything?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have to check out his channel.
Yeah, if you get bored.
I spend a lot of time trying to learn on YouTube. It's there's a lot of knowledge out here.
Yeah, I think Mr. Tester's got some good videos on setting up those bodies in order to minimize the
Z-shift,
Z-shift changed. Yeah.
The way I'm doing it nowadays is against public opinion, so I'm getting a lot of flack for it, but that's all right.
If it works, it works.
It feels like it's a trial and error thing. You sort of have to just try and find something that works for you, I think.
Yeah. Everybody wants to do 45-degree angle with a tilt, and I'm doing 30-degree angle with a tilt. So mine is basically almost on its side. But in doing that, the whole rocker panel is very supported, and then the opposite rocker panel is very supported. And I'm not getting any artifacts anywhere on the body or any Z shifts. So it's working for me.
I'll have to watch some videos and try that out for sure.
And the problem is, if you sit it flat, like what happens? You get a bunch of stepping lines in the roof and the hood.
Yeah, anything that's parallel or perpendicular to the build plate gets lines from the print process. And so by angling it and tilting it, you're minimizing any parallel or perpendicular planes. Eventually, sometimes you'll get a tiny one on top of a fender or something, but nothing. You can just sand that right off.
Nice. I'll share a little bit about what I've been working on. So
I was gonna say, where'd we leave off at? Sean, is it your turn? I disappeared because my internet crashed out. So
yeah, I bought a bunch of tropical glitz paint at NNL East, and I've been wanting something to paint. Just try it out. So I was digging through my stash, and I pulled out a resin. I have a short body 67 C10 pickup.
That's like gold, man.
And I don't know who the manufacturer was. I got this on eBay probably like 15 years ago. I think it's from AFX resin, but I don't really know.
I remember them. Yeah.
But it was a pretty clean casting. It's based on the original AMT 67 fleet side long bed, and somebody's modified the bed into a short bed. So I'm just doing kind of a mild custom. It's gonna be slammed.
Slam it.
Yep, it'll be dragging the ground and with a fancy pearl paint job on it. So that's what I got on the bench. And annoyingly, I don't know if I was going to ask you guys if you ever did this. I had some 3D printed resin wheels that I'd got. I'd painted the tires, and today I came home. They had been. What I do is I tape them, double-sided tape them to usually a stick or something, and they were sitting there drying. And I came home, and I noticed 2 are missing. So what's happened is the tape released, and they've fallen off and rolled away, and now I can't locate them. So
it wasn't meant to be.
It's a custom in a bad neighborhood.
They're here somewhere. It's like they didn't disappear in the thin air. But if you could see the floor in my basement, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of places it could be hiding. So that's annoying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm dealing with over on my side.
All right, Luke. I realize you're the new guy here, so you're like, we can't be like, oh, did you work on the last couple weeks of Last? But what have you been working on recently?
I've been working on. I got a couple Fords on the go. I got a Monogram F250 pickup from. I don't know how old it is. It was given to me by a guy I used to work with, actually. He got out of the hobby and gave me that. And I got a 72 F350 wrecker on the go that I removed the wrecker bed and I'm going to put a plow on it, flatbed. I picked them up, but I'm pretty sure they'll fall apart if I try to bring them any closer.
I've been following your progress on Instagram. You've been posting pictures. I think you just posted a picture of the flatbed with a snowplow. Look like it's got a working snowplow.
Yeah, I made it so it lifts and it'll it's a V, so it'll go like open or close, angle either way.
That's awesome.
It was actually a Defender Customs file that for a 110 RC that I scaled down and built cylinders and pins for and all that. Just I don't know. I can't get away from the construction stuff. I build one clean car and then I got to build 10 dirty.
Yeah, I've followed your Instagram page for a while, and I was really intrigued with some of the stuff you build. And I thought, oh, Luke would be an interesting guy to talk to. I don't see a lot of people build construction equipment as like a genre, but yours are really well done and very authentic. In fact, I just thought they were. First time I saw it, I didn't realize they were model cars because they just looked the level of patina and detail and weathering looked really realistic. And then also these usually things are not kits of normally. And I was like, where do you even, I've never even seen like a Bobcat loader. Like,
Yeah.
so I was kind of really intrigued. And yeah, there's some shots of your snowplow.
Wow. And that's articulating, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you posted a video of it that kind of showed it. Is that correct?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And then the truck, the other truck that you're building, that's looked like it's pulling a flatbed with some couple Bobcats on it. That's like one of the monogram, like 90s vintage or early 2000s Ford. Okay. But you were doing a bunch of different mods to it. It looked like you converted it to a 4-wheel drive. And
Oh,
tell us a little bit more about that.
I just well, I kind of started backwards. I did the skid steer, and then I did the trailer, and I said, well, I need a truck, so I mean, can't leave anything stock. So I found the nicest set of tires I could find to throw on it, and paired it up with a set of wheels. I'm gonna build a working dumper dog is what I've known it to be called. It's like a slide-in bed that sits inside the box, or a dump bed, sorry. So I'm gonna try to scratch build one of them with the headache rack, and I got a wheelbarrow and some brooms and rakes, and make like a landscape outfit. I got a plate tamper file and just some, make it look like something you'd see on a job site, all beat to pieces.
Where did you get a bulldozer? Would you call that a
skid steer? It's
skid steer.
Claus got it. Model. I can't even say the guy his name.
Okay.
It's on Cults. He has like a skidder file and a lot of woods equipment, stuff like that.
Interesting.
So yeah, again, I had to build more than one because well, I just won. I guess.
That's fun.
Yeah, I kind of lost interest in the two that aren't painted, so I'm hoping to do these trucks and maybe get back to the skid steers.
Yeah, I had no idea that there were even kits for that kind of stuff. And when I'd seen what you were building, I was like, oh, that's amazing. There is I got curious because I was like, where do those kits come from? And I can't pronounce the name of that kit design either. It's model, looks German.
Yeah.
Blitz something, or I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm collaborating it. And that was one you'd recently built too. I think that was one of the things that caught my attention. You did I'm not sure what kind of, it looks like a Ford truck, but I'm not sure what is that like a welding utility bed or?
Yeah, it was, that was actually, the bed was, the truck started as the wide sides dually by Revell. Okay. And the tracks were from the same creator, that we can't pronounce. The service bed was from Andrew Bezrodny, from a F700, and then just the stuff in the box is just random files. There's torches and air compressors and welder and everything I could find. They stuffed in the back of it.
Very cool. What's your inspiration for building these things?
I don't know. I've always been a fan of equipment since I was a kid. I played in the sandbox until my mother drugged me out, and I like the dirty stuff, and I don't know. I bought myself a tractor that I dig in the yard with, and when I'm not digging, I'm trying to build one.
Nice.
All right,
Do you do that construction as a career or anything like that?
I did for a couple years. I work in commercial glass now, so not really the same thing, but
Yeah.
maybe I miss it.
Well, I mean, your stuff looks authentic, and I wouldn't know enough to know, to be able to pick it apart and tell you if what's not correct. But usually, I think when people bring that level of authenticity to their models, they know enough about it to know what's right, what's not right, or at least how to fake it. And I'm curious. I'm like, well, what's your background? How did you get, or what was your interest in that, or how do you know what's good and what's not good? How's it supposed to look?
Yeah, no, my father ran equipment, and so I've been around it for most of my life. My couple brothers are into it as well.
Okay.
So I've never been far from the stuff, and I do a lot of research when I do a build. If it's got hydraulics, where the lines are run to, and I try to replicate it, and the dirt and the rust, and try to replicate it like a real one. But
That's cool. I wouldn't even know where to start.
So let me ask: are we talking about this guy? It'll take a second to share, but
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Model Blauwanzu.
I think it's model bow, because that is
Model bow.
Yeah, it's. I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you what it is German for, but it's the award they give out at the Nuremberg Toy Fair for the best new kit. It's like Model Bow magazine, so I think it's just a German version of model kit or something along that line. But yeah, this guy's got a lot of interesting things here: pickup beds and welders and skid steers, headache racks, winter equipment, which I'm assuming that's where we got this little
The tracks.
The tracks,
Yep.
yeah. We got U-Haul trailers, utility trailers, got horse trailers. Quite a bit of interesting
S3 models. Wow.
I was saying quite a bit of interesting little bric-a-brac. Sounds dismissive, but it's quite a bit of work trucky type things here. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm a big supporter. I am. Financially.
Ooh, a crane truck.
Working through his catalog.
It's not crazy prices either. $32 isn't bad for all that.
No.
I won't mention the designers that are overpriced and under.
Now, does most of his stuff come working, or do you modify it and make it working?
It's like some of it comes with cylinders. You have to build a little bit of the stuff. Like it'll come with the large side of the cylinder, but not the small side. And
Okay.
But I haven't built any of his real big stuff. I printed some, but I haven't built it yet. So I can't be so sure, but it's all his stuff seems to print really well. If you're looking for that kind of stuff, he's
Car
pretty
hauler. That's right up your alley, right there.
I get that one back there. My skid steer on it.
Yeah, $5 too. That's a pretty good price for that.
Huh.
All right. So anyway, now that we've all decided we need 3D printers in the last 30 seconds.
Let's see, that's the thing. It's like there is a lot of cool stuff out there. I'm like, okay, that actually looks like. I do wish I sort of could just hit the print button.
For a guy in Germany, he's got a lot of like North American style stuff here.
Right.
Yeah.
He knows his audience.
I guess so.
Huh. Yeah.
Neat things.
So we completely derail the podcast to look at fire axes and portable generators. That guy's got a little bit of everything.
Boots.
Rubber boots. Yeah.
Rubber boots.
A lot of overlanding gear, which is perfect for.
I was going to say, I think Sean's going to be sending files to his friend to print here pretty soon. This is a good old fashioned angle saw. All right. Anyway, we're completely off topic there, but yeah, go check that guy out if you want some. Throw his. I had to go back later and edit a link into that guy's Call 3D into the description of the podcast. Can't do it while we're on the air, but that's very, very interesting stuff. Thank you, Luke. You've made my day for coming on just by giving me a whole bunch of stuff that I will
Don't need.
feed my need for a resin printer.
Luke,
Come on, James.
what sort of things that you have on your radar for other things you want to build?
I don't really know. I just go from one thing to the next. It could be a shiny car. I do have I recently printed or finished a Kenworth big truck, rusty, dirty, and I have a 3D printed dozer for it, a big one, and I want to scratch build a low boy float and kind of do the whole kit and caboodle together. But it's quite a project to get it all, especially the trailer from I scratch build it, from sheet styrene, and I keep looking at files of them just to print one, but I want to build one. I think it's a little more of a challenge to build. So,
do you have are you building from a set of plans, or how do you do you draw up plans for something like that, or how do you go about?
I wouldn't say I draw them. It's a rough sketch, but I'll go online and research and get my dimensions, and then I have a scale calculator that I'll just kind of get my rough dimensions, and then I kind of build it in my head, I guess. My head and Google Images as many pictures as I can find of the fine details. And go from there.
Interesting. How'd you get started building models?
I did it back when I was maybe 10 and get into it, and then I get back into it when I was maybe 20, and then I get out of it, get back into it when I was 25, and I worked I had a small shed, no heat, and it gets rather cold here in the winter, and it was good in the summer, and they would just crumble in the winter. So then I got out of it, and when I moved into where I'm at, I got a good heat source and a nice garage. And my young fellow was old enough that he showed a little bit of interest. So I thought, let's have a hobby together, something we can do, spend some time, teach him some patience. So yeah, we don't do it much in the summer. We got a pool, and he likes to swim and dig stuff with my real tractor, but he likes to do it normally. Most of the weekends we spend out here hanging out.
That's cool. You'll remember that forever.
I wish I could have gotten my kids to build models. I have 2 boys, and they got zero interest in models. So I tried, definitely tried. What other things do you like to build besides construction equipment? I have seen some glossy things on your site from time to time.
How many? Honestly, I'll build anything. I watch Marketplace. It's very hard to find. There's no stores within 2 hours of me, and I don't travel very often. I travel. There's one place I go for work. When I'm on the road, I normally support that hobby shop while I'm there. But so I watch Marketplace, and I just try to buy lots of them. People sell 8 of them and it doesn't matter what it is, and I just keep looking at the box until I feel like building it. I've done NASCARs. I guess the last shiny thing I did was a Dodge Dart, which was definitely a lot funner with a 3D printer, being able to, customize it a little more than box stock. But no, there's no rhyme or reason as to what I build or when I build it or why I build it. I'll just open the cabinet up and pull one out and start building it. And once I started, I tried to make it all the way through without stopping. I have a hard time putting one back in the box.
Are you one of those guys, like, do you build multiple models at the same time, or you build one at a time, or what's your style?
I try to do one at a time because I just if I try to do 2, I'll have 4 on the go.
That's me.
Nothing. So I try to stick with one. I got these 2 trucks on the go right now. They're kind of going to be a pair. I recently got some decal paper and made some Jeffery and Sons, like some landscaping decals and some construction decals, because me and my son, we thought that'd be cool to make maybe a diorama with all our trucks together.
Yeah,
That'd be neat.
Yeah. So we're trying to do a little fleet right now, some landscape and stuff. So that's why I got 2 on the go. But
I felt like I recognize a theme of kind of a group of trucks that look like they're painted in similar paint schemes.
yeah,
Nice. It's funny. I get distracted by whatever new thing that comes. I've noticed a pattern since I've started going to a lot more shows recently. I get distracted by whatever new thing that I've just gotten at a show, and so now I've probably got 7 or 8 things in process, because every time I've been to a show, I've picked up something new. So I just got some paint, and I'm like, oh, no, and that's shifted my focus from. So if I don't go to shows, I'm kind of okay. I can stay focused for a little while. So we'll see. I don't think I have any shows on any radar for the next couple months. So maybe I'll actually stick to one and stay focused.
But it is summer.
Say Sean's secret of completion apparently is being antisocial.
Yeah, stay away from the hobby store. Stay away from shows. Speaking of shows, Luke, do you get a chance to go to any shows? Have you ever gone to any model shows, or you?
I actually have not. There is one in 2 weeks coming up. It's the biggest. It's supposed to be the biggest one in Eastern Canada. I think me and the young fella are going to go. I'm not sure how many people attend, or how big. Because I've never been. I have no idea what to expect, but it's only maybe an hour and a half from home. So we think we'll, load up the truck and take a few models and see what we can do. He wants to. He's more excited than I am.
Yeah.
So he's built a couple nice ones lately that he wants to put in the show. So I told him I'd take them, but I'd love to. I see some of the shows around, and they're pretty cool, but there's none local to where I am, or none that I know of, other than this one that's annual. So
is that the one that's in? I'm going to butcher the name. Is that the one that's in Monocton or Mononocton or whatever it is?
Moncton?
There you go.
No, this one's in Fredericton.
Okay. So I know there's one down that way.
Okay.
That oh crap! Was it Elm City Hobbies? I know.
Yeah.
The guy that runs that place, and I know that's his local club that puts on that show.
Yeah, the Cams.
Yeah.
Cams show. That's the one that I think we're going to try to attend. So we'll see.
Are there any
Well,
model clubs in your area, or
There
how do you-
is a club local. I was in it last year, and then kind of the summer came, and I just kind of steered away from it, and I never made it back.
I'm always curious talking to people when they're in, less populated areas, or like how do you connect with other modelers? How do you learn about model techniques and stuff?
Basically YouTube. That's but I don't know. I don't know anybody personally that that's into the hobby. I had a couple friends try it out, or see me doing it and want to try, but nobody really sticks to it. I mean, there's a few around, but not. I don't know where they hide, but I don't have to find them.
I don't know where they're at. What's your how did you get interested in cars? Like do you have any other automotive interests outside of building models? Do you play with real cars, or
Oh, I can't afford it. No, I used to, when I was younger, I've always wanted to rebuild a car and all that. And when I was young, I used to work on all my own junk that I drove. But this is it's like doing it, but in a smaller scale and cleaner, I guess.
A lot cleaner, yeah. Less expensive.
Yeah, once in a while, but
I've often said that this hobby is, funding my ability to own things that I will never be able to own in real life.
yeah.
live vicariously
That's
through
right.
small scale things?
The Ferraris I own, you should see them. Unfortunately, they're still stuck at the factory being manufactured.
That's what I like about models, that you like, I have ideas for things that I want to see in three-dimensional form, and if I was limited to real stuff, like that would take years. I could probably only build one or two things in my lifetime, whereas model cars, I can build one every week if I was.
Yep. Stayed away from the shows.
Yeah.
I can see that, like your off-roading Charger. If you were to build a real one, that would...
I'd come up with another idea long before I'd ever get completed. So they're just never finish anything.
Soon as Sean has like $250,000 in disposable income, then he'll go build the Dune Charger.
Yeah. Luke, what sort of things do you enjoy, and as like model building techniques, and what are the things that you hate doing?
I really like painting. I recently got into the airbrushing, and because they banned Tamiya paints in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and so the options were very limited. I bought a Kaleido, a gallery airbrush, and some Kaleido paint, and that's a real game changer for what I'm used to. Nice finish, easy to spray. So I really like that part. I like weathering. That's probably my favorite part, as you can probably tell.
Yeah. You do it well, so I would think that's probably something you enjoy. What model of gallery airbrush do you have?
This one.
Oh, okay.
Is that the Swallowtail?
No, it's the one below, the cheap one.
That's just fine.
That reminds me of the Master that I used to use. I used it for 15 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I find the other ones like I would get like a cramp, after spraying a whole body. So I thought instead of buying a swallowtail, I thought I'd buy the cheaper of the two and make sure it was comfortable. And it's it's a lot better than any other airbrush I've owned.
Yeah.
Which were pretty cheap ones, I guess, in hindsight.
Yeah, I really love my gallery airbrush. That thing's been a game changer for me.
The TG, right?
Yeah, I have the Mobius.
Nice.
Yeah, hopefully, maybe someday we'll get somebody from Gallery on our show. I'd like to hear more about their products.
I asked him.
So we'll see. They're on our radar. Luke, what are the things that you hate about model building? The things you struggle with?
Finishing one.
Right.
I enjoy most of it. I struggle with windows. I hate them. I don't think they should put windows in them.
Especially 3D printed kits, because you got to figure out your own windows usually.
Yeah, that's maybe why I haven't built one yet. Has anybody? Have you successfully printed a window, or you can't do it?
You really can't.
No,
you really can't. You can't get them transparent enough. A lot of people say, "Oh, you can wet sand it and polish it." Yeah, whatever. You can't you can't make it crystal clear. You can't.
You can't do James standards.
I wondered that.
You can make it look like a convertible top back window from the 60s, but you can't.
That's fine if you're weathering it. It's not.
Yeah, put some dirt
right.
on it.
Yeah. Right. Throw some dirt on it.
Yeah.
James, we left you out. Are you building anything?
Of course not.
Well, never mind that.
I left myself out. We did have a little local show here. I think you made the mistake of coming to it a couple of years ago. Or was it last year? Then basically we just ended up going to the local hobby shop. I did see Ken from Model Building Retirement. I know he's in the chat there at the show. And basically that was just a delivery run for me because I had gotten a couple of alpha kits for John Brolin, who's a local guy to me. And rather than driving back down to his house like I did with the first one, I had two of them. And just like he's like, "Hey, you going to the show?" And I go, "Well, I wasn't planning to, because it is what it is, and it's not the most fantastic way to spend $5 to get through a door." And he's like, "Well, I'm going to be there." I'm like, "Good. Well, that saves me it'll be $5 to get in the doors, cheaper than the gas it's going to cost me to get down to an hour and a half from here, West Virginia." So I ran over there, grabbed his kits, talked to Ken for a while, talked to the local hobby shop guy, who also had the hobby shop open. So I ran out there, grabbed a couple things, and that's my most recent hobby thing that I've done. I ran out to the show. It was by all standards even worse than normal. Like, you came to the one and it was pretty slow, and I went out there at I don't say this to bash the club necessarily, but I'm not sure what the point of the spring show is at this point. Like, the one you went to was pretty light on anything, and there were very few models there. I went out there at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning to run John stuff out to him, and half the vendors no-showed. So there's empty tables everywhere. I've never heard of that before. I've never gone to a show where the vendors didn't want to sell anything. And then until Ken showed up, there weren't any models on the table. And and then the club was fighting with itself publicly in front of everybody. So that was a day that I'm sure they probably like to have back. But
that's unfortunate.
They probably don't watch our podcast anyways. It doesn't matter.
No, I suppose not. I did run into a couple people there that were like, "Oh, hey, I watched your podcast all the time," which is great. I appreciate it. No, I have to watch what I say. I don't want to offend local people now. That's great. But it's good to go out and meet people that you don't see all the time. Like we haven't had a local show since the IPMS show, so that was 3 months ago. So get to go out and hang out and talk to people and stuff like that. But that show is just unfortunately not. I don't know. It's never going to be what they wanted it to be, I guess. So.
I like Ken's comment there.
Guess that's how you won first place. Well, it was people's choice, Ken. So I mean, enough people voted for your thing to win. So that's what I mean. By the time I left, a bunch of people had shown up, and there were probably close to 75 models on the table. But it was people's choice, and I don't know if there were categories or if it's Ken. You'll have to if you're going to be listening to this in real time, so we'll wait for your response. But I don't think there was categories. I think it was just a best thing. Because we got this little slip of paper and you could write one number down. So I think Ken won best of show effectively. Yeah.
Everybody voted for their own stuff, and then he got 2 votes.
Probably brought his wife or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Ken.
I say, Ken, sorry I Irish goodbye you there, but I ran out to the shop while it was still open that day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I say since I have it sitting here, I picked up even though I said I wasn't building convertibles or buying convertibles anymore, I did buy the convertible version of the Corvette because why not? And then I know that everybody loved this when I showed it in the group chat. I bought this Hyundai Porter 2. If you can't read Korean, because it's a great big box truck. It's a 124 scale, so I mean it's like
it's probably this big. Right?
I was gonna say I don't know exactly what there's no measurement length on here. I don't think, but say real size, right? No. I've been looking at this since this kit came out in it came out in 2020, I think actually, and it's like really detailed for what it is. It's still curbside, but it's full suspension. A couple of different build options as to what year Hyundai Porter you build, because why not? Academy just has the weirdest stuff that they've done, and they're pretty decent kits for if you want to buy a Kia or a Hyundai. I realize it's not everybody's jam necessarily, but it's just where else are you gonna get a Hyundai Santa Fe?
So Ken says just a first, second, and third people's choice. My wife didn't vote. So must have been another guy. Awesome. Well, congratulations, Ken.
Let's say, well, Ken, I did vote for one of your models because, I mean, they were the best things there pretty much. So there is that.
That box truck, I'm telling you, I think that needs to be the shop truck for the Automotive podcast. We should do a collaborative build on that and slam it to the ground, mash it up with the Corvette kit, and use the LS.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember what the hell.
LS swap it, right?
Right. Technically, I think it's what, an LT5 now. They've gone back to that engine designation. I'm just curious as to how big this is now because I didn't get a chance to open it the other day. So live on the air, let's take a look at what an Academy Hyundai Porter will build to. So, okay, so the cabs. Let's see, Subaru 360 for comparison. It's it's almost as big as the Subaru 360 cab was. Let's see, where's the panels at here? So that's going to be
Pro Street it. Chester says Pro Street it.
I would say it's 3 inches there. It's about standard size. I mean, it's probably 7 inches built total, so it's about the size of a regular model car.
Get Luke to print some facts for it, and then we could
there we go.
a piece of construction equipment.
They do give you very amusing this sheet of paper that's gridded out so that you can make little Academy model boxes for it.
Oh, to carry, yeah. to carry
Yeah.
model kits in, right?
to carry model kits in. One of the things that Academy has done that probably most people don't realize is they've made a 1/24 scale building that is an Academy model store.
Oh, right. A model shop.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, it's let's see. I've got the body in clear spruce. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 full box. I mean, width of this box screws in here, so quite a bit of parts.
Too many for James. Sorry.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Sorry, little guy. They also make a pickup truck version of this without the box. It's just literally like a utility pickup, so that's kind of interesting.
Do they make a fire truck version of that too, or is that a different manufacturer?
That's Oshima sandbar. Yeah. But they do make a panel version of the sandbar too, if you were so inclined. And let's see. Oh, hey, that's right. Hobby Link Japan showed up today, so Zuzu Bellet, another
Woo!
one of those.
How many bellets do you have now?
I'd have to look. Let's see. We got the Iron Mask version of the Nissan Skyline streetcar. So
Ooh.
that I like. And then we got the most recent. Well, not most recent. This is several months ago now, but the next version of the Starlet race car.
Wide body. Digging
That's
it.
right. And then we got the snap kit, snap car, whatever they want to call this, the Aoshima's Nismo
I built
version of the.
I built that in gray when I was in Japan.
Is that the one you built in the hotel room?
No, it wasn't in the hotel room.
It was on the
I
plane.
did build it.
Let's say on the subway on the way to the airport.
There's long red stickers that go along the bottom of the quarters or the rocker panels. It was actually a little challenging to get them straight.
I'll say you've now built one of those things. What would be your flying assessment of the 1/24 scale snap type kits from Aoshima?
They're really nice. They really, really are nice. You don't have to paint it. It was just a fun, evening, something to slam together. Kind of build the niche to do something.
That's Mr. Tester's idea of a fun evening. Build his
You watch TV. I don't watch TV.
You went all the way to Japan and you spent the evening looking at snap.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that when they started doing this and it's in regular scale, because they obviously have the very large 1/32 scale snap tight line at this point, and those kits are somewhere between like 15 and 20 pieces. These ones are pushing 50, 60 depending on which one you get. That it's a snap tight kit, blah blah. Well, they're pretty nice snap tight kits. They're not.
They really are.
They're not Revell 90s snap tight kits with engines and all that, but they're pretty nice. And I mean, subject matter wise, I don't think that Tamiya is ever going to get around to making a Nismo version of their 400Z for whatever reason. I don't know what the holdup is there, but I think, and I got the one that's molded in white, so I could paint it whatever color I wanted to. Not that I'll ever build it, but if I did, I could paint it whatever color I wanted to.
And they're coming out with some cool ones from the Shizuoka show.
Yes, that's true. Should we wish to discuss that, we can.
Luke, are you down for looking at Japanese kits?
I'm down for anything.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our favorite part of the podcast. This is where we show Sean a bunch of stuff that he doesn't know exists.
Yeah, like I had no idea these things.
So, oh my. So first up, Tamiya. I know everybody wanted Tamiya to do something cool, and they basically didn't. But
wait a minute. Hold on. Backstory. What is this show that we're talking about? I'm not even aware of it.
This is a show that I went to last year.
Yeah. So educate us, Mr. Testers. You've actually been.
So all of the manufacturers in Japan all gather together kind of similar to the New York Toy Fair, but this is the All Japan. So all the Japanese model manufacturers all join in one place, and the place is packed. Saturday is free day, and so there's a bazillion people walking around, shoulder to shoulder, trying to look at everything that from the new manufacturers.
Okay.
But that's their way of showing off. I'm sorry?
This just took place last week or over the weekend?
Yes, this was just
last week.
Last weekend. The pretty much all of the model companies in Japan are based in Shizuoka, and so this is sort of their home turf show, as it will be. So everybody, Fujimi is actually starting to show back up to this show, and they hadn't been to it in many years. Most of the years we did these updates, they weren't going to the show, but now they are. So starting off with Tamiya, like I said, everybody wanted them to do something cool, and instead they've decided they're going to reissue all their Mini Coopers, which I guess is kind of cool. So you have a reissue of the Morris Cooper, a reissue of the Austin Cooper, and a reissue of like the touring car, race car version of the Mini Cooper. I think the Monte Carlo Rally one's still in the catalog, so that's why that one's not on here. And then they're also reissuing the big 112 scale Mini Cooper, which is like slightly bigger than a 124 scale regular car. Are so small. So like if you ever wanted to build a big scale kit and you didn't have the space to store it, I have a solution for you. This Mini Cooper. Everything's getting new decal sheets. I think these are actually legitimately new. They're not the same decal sheets that were in the previous one, although the touring car one I think still shares the numbers and roundels that it had before. But I think I'd have to pull my Morris and Austin out, but I don't believe I had roof decals in the original ones from the 90s that I have. So
you're going to buy new kits?
I don't know that I would, because I mean, clearly I haven't built those yet. What's flipping them over and buying new ones going to do for me? I'm not really that big into the roof decal either. I kind of just like the solid roof color. Putting a great big Union Jack on it is cool, but is that decal really going to fit on there that well? And once it's wrinkled, it's going to be wrinkled. And for anybody who hasn't seen these before, they are full detail kits with engines and the whole 9 yards. I mean, they're itty bitty tiny little engines, obviously, but they are full detail kits. So there is that item. Let's see. I have certain things in folders, but some of this other stuff is sort of individual manufacturers, so bear with me. I think we may have talked about this with the Toy Fair in Germany, but they also had the test shots for the new Revolve Germany McLaren 750S. You may recall our own fearless Mr. Tester recently built a 3D printed convertible version of the same car. This is a coupe.
With an open door.
As 112 parts, yeah, with I don't know if they're opening or if they're posable. It doesn't look like these are, hinged points. They look like they're just, a place to stick the door on rather than it being, open. Whenever you start doing like moving doors, that gets awful gimmicky, and the doors tend not to fit right. So I just assume have it be sort of semi-static.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. It does have what appears to be a left and right hand drive dashboard, which makes sense because McLaren being a UK based company. So that's a trend that they've done with a bunch of their newer kits. They've had left and right hand drives in the box already. So that's cool for the folks who live in that part of the world or in Australia, things of those natures where they drive on that side of the road. And then let's see here. These are not quite in the order they need to be, but we'll make the best of it. We had let's see. This is the one that I'm sure Mr. Tester wants to purchase, although he already purchased a very expensive resin kit off me instead. How about the Fujimi doing a Honda S660, which was the little K car.
I love K cars, man.
And say this will be in the Easy Kit line, which based on the previous kits, and these are Fujimi's Snap Tight line. They did the Alfred van, the Veilfire Toyota van, the Hustler, the Jimneys, they're all in the same line of kits.
So
And I mean, it's
4 colors or so.
yeah, as I say, it'll probably come in a bunch of different colors, and they'll all have Mylar stickers, and they'll release it in white, and that'll be the one with water slides, frustratingly. But I mean, it's a fairly robust snap tight kit from the parts tree here. I'm not the world's biggest fan of, and you're gonna see this with the Subaru here in a second. Fujimi is back to doing this goofy bullshit, pardon my French, where they mold the seat bottoms into the interior.
Grown.
Yeah, exactly. That was a thing that Fujimi did in like the late 90s, early 2000s with a bunch of their kits, and we are once again being forced to endure that because your seat backs are here, and then your seat bottoms are molded into the floor, which isn't that big a deal in this. It's so tiny you won't be able to tell, but still,
it's fine if you're going to paint the whole interior black, but if you want to paint the seats red, that's a lot of masking.
Yeah, it's pain.
And this will have the easy alignment system in it, which is the new shtick thing that Fujimi's been doing, where you can adjust the stance and the camber and the basically the drift pose if you wanted to do that. It looks like it's going to be a pretty nice kit, and overall, I do like the fact that for ease of painting, the entire frame on top of the window ledge is a separate piece, so that ought to make that part of it easy at least. It's the one concession of making it just be a giant pain in the ass to paint the seats on, I guess. Right. This is the alpha version, which was like a trim level of this car. And with the hood and the front end being different pieces, I kind of wonder if they won't do the newer version of this as well, because it's kind of silly to do this one option way. So I assume they'll do the refreshed version of this that came out. Right. Yay, I guess. Let's go this way. They also were showing off the new Subaru WRX STI. This is the last of the STIs. This was a 2016 to 2020 model year car. The EJ Final Edition is a 2019. I've had this discussion a number of times. No, this doesn't have left-hand drive included in it. Yes, I'm aware they sold WRXs in the United States, but no, this particular version was only sold in Japan. It was a Japanese specific market trim car. The Final Edition was a JDM only car. So this kit does not have left-hand drive. Will it ever? It's Fujimi. They're the MPC of Japan. It might or it might never. This is not going to be molded in blue, despite the fact they painted it blue and all the promotional materials in blue. So they're not doing that to you. And then the parts tree for that is right here. And again, bumpers are separate, hood is separate, but it is, we'll go up here. All of the seats are in the floor, including the back seat. So unfortunately, that is what they've decided to do with it. I think it's going to be molded in silver is what we're going for with this. Molding the bumper separately will give you the ability to backdate this to the early version of the EJ, and obviously this is a late version. The hood being separate lets them do it just as a WRX without it being an STI, because the WRX used a different hood and a different rear spoiler. So the options are there for them to reissue this a bunch of different ways. This will be a glue kit. This is not going to be a snap tight kit, so you don't have to worry about it buying one that doesn't have real decals in it with the way you do with the snap tight cars. And yeah, I'm happy, I guess. Like, it's the one missing Subaru WRX, and no one ever did that generation. And it's the first all new Fujimi kit in 7 years. Other than as far as glue kits go, they've done the snap tight stuff, but they haven't done a new tool glue kit since 2017. So it's been a hot minute for that. And then the other thing that we've sort of blipped past real quick is the Hasegawa new tool for this year. There's a bunch of stuff that Hasegawa has done, and I didn't get pictures of all of it, that oh, it's a new decal sheet. Hooray, it's a new model kit. Or we've added a resin spoiler or a resin girl or a resin chin spoiler or something like that. So their new toolkit for the summer is going to be a Toyota AE86 Truno.
Panda.
Yeah, exactly. Red panda and white panda here. This sort of answers a question that nobody necessarily asked, which would be, hey, wouldn't it be cool to have a new AE86? But Aoshima's kit, which is generally viewed as being the best one of these things, is at this point now 21 years old. So it is about time to do a new one, I guess they said. So looking at the parts runners for this, I immediately got incredibly excited because if you look at the floor on this, it's stamped steel. And if you know your Fujimi model kits, there's going to be a race car with this. Exactly. So Japanese touring car, they race the Trunos and the Levins with just the stock body and the big, ridiculous over-fendered body. Plenty of options here. Everything is obviously separate on here because the Trunos got the flip-up headlights. The Levin has the composite just headlight beams like a regular car does. So the headlight, the hood on a Levin doesn't have the peak in it because it doesn't go between the headlights like that. And I mean, this is basically what you would expect out of a current Hasegawa kit, with nothing being molded into the floor except looks like the bottom of the pulley assembly here. The engine is a separate piece. Fuel tank's a separate piece. That's another giveaway that you're going to have a race car because there should be a fuel cell and not need the civilian thing. But a couple different sets of brakes here.
But does it have a tofu decal for it?
I don't know that they'd have to get licensing for that. So
okay.
Yeah, so these right here will be your chrome runners. So it's just basically mirror faces, and you see there's already 2 sets of mirrors in here. So that's an late indication that you're going to get the 83 and the 85. You get seat tops and bottom backs that are all in one piece here, so you don't have to be stuck with shit molded to your floor. Look at this, all nice and separate. Got back door panels here. That's another dead giveaway. This would be a race car because these would be like just stamped steel panels rather than being consoles and all that stuff. Center console being separate.
Okay, all right, I'll buy one.
Say everything here is separate, so we can have a racing floor in it instead of the standard floor. The other thing about this that I kind of wish they would just suck it up and make the separate part is this is a pain in the ass because you have to flock the floor of these things, or else your street car has a steel floor in it. But yeah, I will purchase one just for comparison's sake only. He said.
It looks like a nice kid, actually.
Meanwhile, 18 versions later, I'll be interested to see if they do the what they call Aoshima still sells it as a kit now. They call it the TRD N2, which is the Levin and the Truno that have the great big fat over fenders on them. That was a later year Japanese touring car development, putting the big fat fenders on them. So it'll be interesting to see if they do one of those, or if this is going to be strictly an early version that didn't have that on there. They were used from 83 through 86 when the Supras came in. This was Toyota's racing platform in the early days of touring cars. So that I am excited to get because the Fujimi kits are available, but they're garbage, and the Aoshima kits, while being pretty nice because they're from 2005, have not been reissued since 2005. So there's a minor problem there. Can't get what I want. So Aoshima, I'm trying to figure out where that went. It's over here. It's going to do a Liberty Walk. I believe we're calling, if we have access to the box, I think this is called the Super Silhouette GT was the name of this. So it's an Aventador based car, much like all the rest of their Aoshima's Liberty Walk kits, where they're quote unquote snap tights, even though you got to glue them together. Good luck snapping this together and having it stay in one piece when you're done. basically the stuff on the right hand side of the stuff is all the Aventador parts that have been in all the various Liberty Walk Aventadors, of which there are like 5, and then all this stuff over here on the right hand side is the new stuff to make this this specific version. Let's see if we can go this way real fast. There we go. So this is what this looks like when it's built, and if you happen to have a PZY kit box version of this that you haven't built yet, I suppose you could sell it off and build this and not have to deal with all of the many tiny resin bits and the non-fitting windows and all the rest of that stuff. But
that thing does look pretty sick, actually.
I say Mr. Tester has a convertible version of that, so he's stuck having to build it.
Yeah,
someday.
I'll buy that one too.
Maybe I have to put one of these on my build list. I do like them.
I say, yeah, I was say Mr. Tester's been to Liberty Walk now, so Liberty Walk, all the things for Mr. Tester. So going
least for the next year, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so for things that were newly announced, we talked about these at the Tokyo Hobby Show last fall. They're doing these HKS branded Subaru BRZ and Toyota 86. The wheels are different and the decals are different. The body kit themselves is the same on both of these. So it just depends on how many decals you feel like applying. If you feel like
what does that say?
It says tune the next.
Tune the next.
So HKS famously did Nissan engine tuning back in the day. Apparently they work with Toyota now. Then we have the upcoming Toyota Supra snap tight kits. Did a little background into these after we started talking about them on the let's see, what do we call it, on the Model Maker forum, which is the old Model Car Magazine forum. And these are actually 1996 Toyota Supras. And I know that nobody cares, but technically there is a mid-cycle refresh in 1995. So these are not the exact same Supra as the Tamiya kit is. There's different front rear bumper, different front and rear lights, a couple of interior differences. So if you like your 4th gen Supras and you wanted to build another one, this will not, even if you bought the silver one that looks like the Tamiya kit straight out of the box, it would not be the exact same kit as the Tamiya kit. And then there's also going to be a set of EK9 Civics coming out. So should you wish to buy, there will be white, silver, and black, obviously. There's going to be in 2027, a 2023 Suzuki Swift Sport. I love some of the stuff that this is going to see, because it's such obscure sort of, I'm not calling nonsense, but it's such JDM that it makes your teeth hurt. Like, Suzuki Swift Sport, really? Okay, I'll buy it because I have a resin one of these. And I'm pretty sure the resin one of these I have is old enough that I actually can't sell it. The joke being that I was going to sell the one I had and just buy the snap tight kit, but I think there's a body refresh involved here. Also coming up, and I know Sean wants this one, a 2007 Honda S2000 AP2 Type S.
I have to get one of those for sure.
I believe.
Is yours an AP1 or an AP2?
Mine's an AP2. It's not, that one's the Club Racer version. So it has the unique front fascia and that rear spoiler. And it also has I'm assuming that the top is probably removable. The Club Racer had a double hoop, like filler panel that kind of followed the roll bars. And but yeah, that's pretty cool. I would get one of those, and I'd probably build it.
I say this is supposed to be a late 2026 kit, so we'll have to keep Sean up to date on that. And then the last thing for the snap tight kit line that's officially announced is, and this will be another 2027 kit, is a 2024 Toyota Yaris GR. And I thought about it again. I'm pretty sure this is a different Yaris than the one that PZY Kitbox made. I think there's again been another mid-year refresh involved. So the desire to collect everything doesn't let me sell stuff.
That has the same engine as the GR Corolla we have, so it's turbocharged 3-cylinder.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty quick.
Indeed.
Do these snap kits have engines, or are they just the curbside.
They're just curbside. There is chassis detail to them to some extent, but it's not because the 1/32 scale ones just have like a flat panel on the bottom without really any kind of detail. There's a little bit of engraved detail to these. The EK9, here's the whole reason it was made basically is to do this initial D kit because they'll sell more of these than they will out of any of the other colored ones because people collect and build the initial D series. They're also announcing that they're going to do a Snap-Tight AE86 and a Snap-Tight FD3 SRX7 again for an initial D line. I'm sure that there will be regular versions. There'll probably be a white panda, red panda, and I don't know what other color you'd want to do with that necessarily. And the FD3S would be whatever colors they decide to do it in. Probably yellow, obviously, because the initial D car is yellow, maybe white. Then you have the Fast and the Furious Supra. So for people who actually wanted to build one of these, it wasn't a crappy AMT kit without the roof cut off. You now have that option.
It's actually going to be really nice.
Let's say
it looks, yeah.
Let's say chuckle all you want to, but I mean that AMT kit is a disaster because it was done during the Racing Champions years of just. I mean, look at any of those Fast and the Furious Tokyo drift cars, and they're just. Other than the 70 Monte Carlo, because that was already a Mueller era great kit to begin with, and they still tried to ruin it anyway.
They just reissued that Mitsubishi from that line.
Yeah,
and it's awful.
It's what somebody who's blind and whittling it out of soap would have made it for an Evo 7.
It does surprise me that after all this time, they're finally going to come out with an accurate kit of that car. Like it's
they celebrated 30 years. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I think it's probably close to 30 years for that.
I think it is. I think it is the 30th anniversary of the movie this year. I believe. But this shares the Snap-Tight architecture with those Supras we looked at earlier, which is why this makes sense. When they announced this, it was like, oh, cool. There's going to finally be an accurate car for the Fast and the Furious fans. And then they announced those other Supras. And like, why are they making two new tool Supras? That's a lot of Supras for, I Mark IV Supras are popular. I get it. But like, that's a lot of Supras. Well, no. Basically, other than the body over here and like the roll cage and the spoiler thing like that, most of this is just the other Supras. So that makes sense tooling amortization wise, because again, this version of the Snap-Tight Supra is going to sell all the kits, and hopefully they'll sell a few street cars on the backside. 1/32 scale kit, just because this is sort of interesting. Aoshima has a Ferrari license now, so they're about to drop, or actually, no, these are actually already out, I believe. The 512BB Ferraris, and at the show, they announced a 288 GTO and an F40. Again, all in 1/32 scale. And Sean, like I was saying, this is pretty much the detail you're getting on a 1/32 scale kit. It's a little bit here and a great big advertisement. Hey, by the way, you're buying an Aoshima kit. So
it's like a Hot Wheels.
Yeah, a little bit. And they say they come in all the colors you see up here: white, red, silver, black, and whatnot. And they're also going to do like they're not kind of off the picture here, but they're doing like a California custom version of the Beetle. So that's kind of interesting. They're doing like a Beetle van as well. There's a whole. They have, right? Yeah, I say there are something along the lines of like 35 of these, include with the stuff they announced at the show. There's this line obviously is selling well enough for them to A, not only make a lot of it, but B, buy a Ferrari license for it. Now, will this Ferrari license ever make it to 1/24 scale? Maybe. No plans for it right now, but it would be nice. Do you really
want Oshima doing Ferraris, though?
I bet you this 512BB is 3D scanned compared to the one that Fujimi made.
Right.
Is a 1/24 scale F40 going to be better than the Tamiya kit? Well, the Tamiya kit has admittedly always been the joke from Mr. Tamiya was we massaged that to make it look more like the real car than it was, because the real car didn't look right in scale. The 288 GTO, that's an enthusiast series kit. I don't know that you're going to make a better one with a Snap-Tight kit.
Right.
So it is what it is, and I mean, I'd just like to see them, somebody do some bleeping regular Ferraris, so that I have to stop dropping $150 on them every time a new Ferrari kit comes out. That's my thought process on that, and that's the end of Aoshima. One last thing for the race car fans. So yeah, this one's just for me. This is the BMAX table. Now there wasn't a lot at the BMAX table in terms of like new announcements. It wasn't like, oh my god, here's something we're gonna get 7 years from now whenever someone feels like getting around to it. This was basically just covering if I can get the thing to pop up and show on my screen. Let's see, try that again. No, maybe I shared too much. The basic point being, usually BMAX always has like a whole bunch of 3D prototypes there, and it's all a bunch of stuff that if you follow BMAX and Nunu over the years, it's like, that stuff will come out someday. And I don't know why this is sharing.
Their Porsche K2 took like what, 6 years or something?
Something like that. And I don't know why I'm getting
nothing gets released until it's ready.
Very surprisingly, that we've talked about it offline. There's a Porsche 911 that was called the 953. It's a 4x4. It is off-road. It's a Paris to Dakar rally kit. And that kit was pending. And all of a sudden it just, hachoo, got sneezed out of BMAX at random last week. And I said, it'll be like 3-4 weeks before it shows up in Japan. And then it showed up in Japan this morning. So not only did that kit come out much earlier than anyone thought it would, it also shipped internationally much faster than anyone thought it would.
It's got your name all over it, Sean. Off-road Porsche.
I know. It looks like a nice kit.
Let's try this. Let's try this one more time. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and we'll move on. But nope, I'm just getting I've apparently shared too much. I'm just getting an overlay now that says that I can't share anything. So BMAX had on their table the we've got 3.0 CSL in real life. I'm not sure what the car was as a race car. It's like the late 70s 3 Series BMW. Okay. They had their Le Mans Mazda RX-7, which is a late 70s RX-7 with a gigantic whale tail spoiler and over fenders. They had the Toyota GT4 ST205 Celica, which is famously the Celica that was banned from rally racing because Toyota figured out a way to bypass the turbocharger restrictions by putting a very, very nifty roller cam in it. So basically it just never shut and kept going all the time, even when it was they had to literally take it apart and saw it in half to prove that it was illegal. And they're also doing the Toyota GR10, which is the current hypercar that races in Le Mans. And it looks like, at least from the decals, it's last year's car. That I don't think last year's car won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, amusingly. And there were sprue shots for some other stuff there, but we can't see it, so yay!
All about those Japanese kits. We are.
I say. Now I look back through the comments and see that when everyone fell asleep exactly.
Luke, does any of those kits hold any interest for you?
Yeah, I mean, I build some of them. That yellow, what was it, a Lamborghini?
Yeah.
That was pretty sharp looking. I just was wondering how it would look with some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Some bigger tires.
Yeah.
Sure. This is very amusing. Your computer's like BMAX. It appears when you forget about the products. Yeah. Very funny. Very true. And it's annoying. I wonder if I can get on here and show this way. But yeah, I obviously want the race car stuff. I'm very interested in the AE86 just because a new one. Why not? Especially the race car parts. It's really the reason why I like the R30 Skylines was because there's going to be there are race car versions of it. So we shall see if Tamiya decides to announce anything at the end of the year here.
Yeah, Tamiya's son, Mr. Tamiya's son is running the place now, right? Grandson, excuse me. He's running the place now. I wonder if he's going to do anything for cars.
I don't know. I would say, obviously, it did the reissuing the Mini Coopers. There's that, right? All right, so we can see it this way. So this is the BMW 3.0 CSL touring car. It'd be really cool if someone made an actual like street car version of this, because this is like sort of that era of BMW of which there is no model kit of.
I would love a stock version of that.
Yeah, that thing's pretty cool.
Yamaha motorcycle, and then here's your ST205 Celica. So if you're not up with your Celica model numbers, this is like a mid-90 Celica. To me, obviously did two different kits of this. They did the GT4, which is the rally spec version and civilian trim, and then just regular Celica. It's a great, if you ever really want to read about great cheating in auto racing, the story behind this car being banned out of World Rally Championship is pretty amusing. The diagrams of how they bypassed the turbo and kept it open. So the car basically had, it was like 150 extra horsepower compared to what it was supposed to have. It was really successful until suddenly it got banned. Here's your GR10 hypercar. This is basically, by the way, just a prototype that they painted and threw some stuff on. That's why it looks so sort of rough and sketchy. But it's the follow-up to the TS050 that Tamiya did as far as legacy of Toyota's, it's really prototype racing, I guess. And here's your over-fender whale-tailed RX-7.
That looks like a Liberty Walk.
Yeah, I guess probably a very early version.
Except for no overfenders.
And here's here's the 911 Carrera 953 we were talking about. It's a four-wheel drive off-road 911.
Yeah,
it's all you, Sean.
I would build that.
By the time they fully developed this car, because they wanted to build a off-road four-wheel drive 959, and they eventually did do that. There is a Gunze Sanyo kit of that. But by the time they got developed, Group B had passed because they kept killing people with it because it was too damn fast. And yeah.
Have you guys seen the documentary? I think it's on Amazon that Porsche built a factory off-road 911 to get the record for the highest altitude. You got to watch this documentary if you haven't seen it. It's amazing. I think I stumbled across it, and I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. And I had never heard the story before. They did this just a few years ago. They actually they took an aircraft engine because at a certain altitude, there's the air's so thin it wouldn't run, and so they developed it was a 911 motor, but they actually put it in an airplane in order to test it, and then so they could test it at altitude, and then they built and I forget where I don't think it was Everest, it was some other place. It was someplace you could actually drive kind of at a grade that was shallow enough that you could drive a car up. And they got the record for it. But at the story
peak, was it?
No, it was a Chilean volcano from what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, it was up a volcano. It's a fascinating documentary. Do yourself a favor if you got time and you want to dive into it. The level of engineering challenge that they overcame was pretty interesting, and there was a lot of human and drama. Like it took several attempts at it, and it was, it kind of failed, and it's really fascinating. And the car is kind of pretty wild.
That's fun.
Pretty sure Sean already built one of these, didn't he?
Not yet, but I'm thinking I need to.
Just take the Tamiya 911 GT3 kit, strip it down a little bit, throw the under parts on here, and then have your best friend over there print you all the off-road accessories that you need for the roof rack.
Yeah, check that out if you get it. I think you'll enjoy it. If you haven't seen it.
Powered by e-fuel, a Porsche 911 reached 22,093 feet above sea level on a Chilean volcano, setting the world record for high altitude driving. Four miles up, what's the big deal?
We've run out of things to say.
No, I'm just checking the chat because I saw somebody saying something about having a master in 1/18 scale here. So I'm trying to figure out what the. Oh, okay. We're talking about a boat tail Riviera and the fact that AMT already has a tooling for a 1/18 scale version, so it wouldn't be hard to reproduce it in 1/25 scale. Yeah, that's not exactly how that works, but I don't know that you can necessarily pantograph down that from the die cast at this point, especially considering, the die cast was probably made in the time period where AMT didn't have computer rated drafting on anything. Like, that's the big plague of Round Two's ownership of AMT, is that, like, all that stuff from the 90s, it wasn't done with computers. It's all still done the old school way. So putting new parts into that doesn't work necessarily.
Yeah, although I've noticed they've started to they're starting to redo some just parts of kits and to get different versions. Like, they recently announced they're going to be doing a short bed version of the the old MPC 72 Chevy C10, which was a long bed.
Right.
I think it's getting a new chassis and a new short bed. So they're getting different versions of kits just by modifying certain pieces of the kit. And actually, that's the new 55 Chevy Gasser that's coming out is based on the old AMT Nomad.
Okay.
It's getting a new body and some interior bits in order to create a new coupe body out of it, or what the 510 hardtop sedan. So it's interesting how they're kind of and I'm aware of some other things that's coming that I can't share.
Carefully not talk too much.
Yeah, it's interesting how they're doing, just revising, tooling to get different versions out of things that never existed.
I say it was mentioned in the chat earlier, saying, when are you going to talk about the Mac? Like, I think that's their the big kit and caboodle for the moment, but that sort of leaves out the don't call it the Back to the Future truck and the Bluesmobile and all of those kits that are coming out. I saw the box art here a couple of days ago for the all Mitsubishi version. They did the Dodge Ram, the captive import for the D2000 or whatever it was called. They're doing them. They tooled up a Mitsubishi grill for it, so it'll actually be a Mitsubishi this time around. It's great because it's like advertising that tilt bed. Like, well, I mean, it's in the kit. I guess you might as well,
I haven't seen. Can you pull the box out? Where'd you
if I could, let me see if I can find it. But
now I'm curious.
It's let's see. I'm gonna try to find it.
I saw they showed, somebody on Facebook showed the box art for the old 32 Chevy Street Rod.
Yeah.
Which I don't think has been reissued in a really long time. It may even have some new parts in it. I'm not sure.
I think I've seen a buildup of that.
I say, yeah, Mr. Secret best friends over there.
Steve Goldman. It's no secret. Steve Goldman's in my model club, so I get to see some stuff that just before it hits the streets.
All right, so here we go. We got box art on a few things here. So they're going to take the Mustang modified and stick it on the back of the old Ford Transporter. So I don't think this has been combined this way before. You can make your decisions about the spectacular 250th anniversary graphics there.
I kinda like
Then
the
you,
name on it.
then you have the Mitsubishi L200 tilt bed mini truck.
Interesting.
Like I said, I think it's very cool that they finally made this into a Mitsubishi, because it's kind of, it was the Dodge being a captive import. It really is a Mitsubishi pickup truck. It kind of questions why they didn't do that originally, because I think the grill is the only difference between the two of them. Because carrying it over, probably Dodge logos on the inside, but I don't think that Dodge put their own interior inside of it.
No.
And then here's the street rod I think you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Very, very spiffy NPC logo.
Yeah. They must have got the Mitsubishi license so they could do that that Eclipse, or not the Eclipse, the Evo that they recently. But I'm wondering, I wonder what other things they could reissue or retool that would be leverage that Mitsubishi license.
I don't know what this is exactly in terms of what the base of this is. Is there a snap tight 82 Bronco floating around, or is this a glue kit?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
If they go on scale mates, they say we're going to do a Slayer version of the Cadillac hearse.
So that was one of the box art that I did. So I did that one.
You did that box art, Rod?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't mean to laugh at it to insult you, but that's a very, very interesting choice of bands. Of all the bands,
they have a couple band license and things that they're doing, to get different variations out of kits, and that's one of them.
That's cool. Beats the My Little Pony Mustang.
that's the opposite version of the My Little Pony Mustang. If you were offended by that, then buy the Slayer hearse. I say, and of course, now that's cool. Okay, so I rest my case.
That's funny. I'd actually not seen the Slayer box art. I do the renderings of the car and give them, and then they kind of do the rest of the box art. So I often don't know exactly how they're going to, appear as a final form, or so it's always interesting to see.
So what do you think, Luke? Can we interest you in a Slayer hearse?
I'd build one. I'd probably jack it up.
Remember the one they built on Monster Garage years ago that had like a backhoe kind of thing out of the coming out of the back?
I don't know if I ever saw it.
Are you sure that's not one of your AI things?
No. You guys remember Monster Garage, the Jesse James show?
Yes, I do remember that.
Many years. I'm showing my age, but that was, I don't know, 15 years ago. I remember one of them they built was a Cadillac ambulance or hearse that they took, and it had like a backhoe or something that came. It was like an arm that came out of the back and would, and kind of reach. It was a big mechanical thing. I don't know. Seemed right up the alley, with like a big piece of construction equipment.
I guess the question is anybody at all interested in, because I don't know if Sean's seen this or not. This showed up on Facebook the other day, so I'm not sharing anything I'm not allowed to. Is anybody interested in maybe like a 72 Comet or Maverick or something?
Oh, I haven't seen this either. Somebody's showing some test shots.
Yeah, say apparently these are 3D printed parts off a CAD for the kit.
Okay.
So,
I've seen the CAD, and I did a review of the CAD model and gave some feedback on it, but it's been a while, so I haven't. Looks like it's been tooled. It's getting closer.
I'll say it looks like there's two separate chassis for anybody who's interested. There's a racing one over here and the stock one over here.
They've designed the stock one and the Pro Street chassis with the Boss 429 that you could build the I don't know what licensing they're going to be able to get, but it's designed, I think, for the Dino Dawn Maverick as a replica of that car.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Kevin, you just nailed it on the head there. Would kill the value of Johan.
I think there's from reading the original Facebook post that this is from. There's obviously, you see the racing header down in here. That they're obviously, besides the drag racing version, that this is going to have a slant 6 too. So you be able to build like a really stripped down version. Now they didn't make I was talking to my wife about cars that family members own. They didn't make a 4-door version of the Maverick because one of my uncles had one of those growing up. It's like a powder metallic blue.
Somebody ran those as one of the drag racing car, a 4-door.
Yeah, there was
the 4-door. They ran a 4-door. I don't know why. I don't know the backstory of that, but I know that they ran the body.
This, unfortunately, these aren't very big pictures. Oh well, it'll have to do. I know what I can do. I can take this and open it as a new image. Yeah, that's still small, but yeah, this was discussed over there as to whether or not this would be possible. But yeah, this is a 4-door Maverick drag car. I wish I could make this bigger, but it's as big as it's gonna get.
Yeah, somebody will probably make a resin body or something for it.
Say it was Gap and Roush, I guess.
Yeah.
They need to get on those C10s. Just saying.
Let's say here's a better. It's in pieces, but this is better. There we
go. It's a door slammer.
Yeah, so very interesting. It's got 2 seats in it, so I guess you go for a ride in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the story was or why they ran a 4-door, but I'm sure somebody in the comments probably could chime in. But I do know that was kind of an iconic drag car.
Why so many doors? No. Yeah, that's true. Somebody saying that Australia doesn't have the stigma of 4-door muscle cars. Most of your Holdens and your Ford Falcons were more than a coupe.
Yeah, I know the Mobius, they're doing the Mavericks and the Comet, so you'll have both stock and drag versions of both cars. And I think there's a Comet GT, a Grabber GT Maverick.
Oh, okay.
So there'll be lots of different versions of those, all the versions.
Yeah, so Bronco gets the MPC 1982 annual reissue with Hot Wheels decals.
I wonder if it's the same one they reissued. It's just the MPC Bronco, just the full kit. Must be. I don't remember any other, unless they had a Snap-Tight kit of that vintage back then, but I don't remember.
No, I think that's just the. So I'm looking at this. What was 2023 or so when they really reissued that 82 Bronco. That was just in an MPC box. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's the same.
Big cat.
Somebody's got a cat.
Yeah, that would be my. I'm being told that it's bedtime.
Maybe he'll crop dust you again.
Luke, if we put you in charge of a model company, what all new model kit would you design?
Oh, I don't even know. New style Ford truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to have one of those myself, actually. I think that'd be I'm kind of surprised none of the manufacturers have done any modern trucks, because there's a bunch of them out there. I mean, the Fords, the Chevys, the GMCs, the Ram pickups. There's a bunch of variations I think would all do well, and it's surprised me that nobody stepped up to the plate to do an all new kit of a modern truck, especially like the Dodge Ram TRX. That seems like that would be super popular.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to have. If I could have one new kit, that'd probably be one of the things.
T-Rex, really? Okay.
Yeah, T-Rex. Yeah, I think that's a cool truck.
I think. Well, they did the Raptor in Snap Tight. Ravel did.
Yeah.
But even then, that's a couple generations ago.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the current
I
one.
say you get a if you just want to do like performance trucks, you have the Raptor F-150, the Raptor Bronco.
Yeah, another
Ram. Let's say then you have in the TRX Ram. If you want to claim that traditional pickups wouldn't sell well enough, well, then sell the thing that no one can afford to buy, because who the hell has a damn near $100,000 to buy a Raptor F-150 at this point?
Right.
Yeah, the Bronco Raptor would be another one that I'd like to see.
I think in order to do that though, is a 4-door, so that would you'd have to convince Steve and them to make the correct quote correct Bronco, because that's been a story ever since that kit came out. It's very nice. You built one, obviously, Sean. Very nice, Bronco kit, but more often than not, all the ones you see are 4-doors.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Raptor would be a completely all new kit. I don't think it's shared anything with, except maybe the windshield. Dashboard, maybe. I'm not even sure. But it seems like it'd be something that a lot of people would be into.
Say there's the Ford has those tremor trims that are just not quite Raptors, but the next thing down there's a tremor F-150 Ranger and a Maverick.
Yeah, but even just a regular F-150 pickup. I mean, there's a lot of different variations: short bed, crew cabs, 4-wheel drive. You probably get 5 or 6 different kits out of.
It says Mobius all over it.
They have, I don't know, they've never showed any interest in doing anything modern. They've always wanted to do. I've pitched these ideas multiple times. But, yeah, I'm not sure why.
Did you hear the F-150 Platinum's coming out? Oh no, I'm waiting for the King Ranch. 4-door trucks with useless beds.
Cowboy Cadillacs, right?
Yep. When I bought my car, just for S&Gs, I went down to the Ford lot, and they had a King Ranch dually down there, and it was $123,000.
Jesus.
Like, whoo! That's more than I pay for this house, and $50,000 in cash to pay off the taxes.
Luke, what are you driving in real life?
F-150.
There you go.
He's on board Sean's design train then.
Yeah.
Is it newer or old school?
I got a 21.
Nice.
So fairly new.
Or even like a Tacoma. Like Tacomas are popular trucks, and you could make a 4Runner with it.
Oh yeah, I'm really. I mean, especially the last gen 4Runner, super popular.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised there's none of the Japanese manufacturers have ignored that.
Right.
I said really,
they're American, so I mean, the market for those is America. So why would they bother?
Well, yeah, but we haven't even got they didn't even do like a new Hilux or a Hilux. I mean, the 4Runner's a Hilux Surf over there. Like they never did the new Hilux trucks. They never did the Hilux Surf. They never made a new Toronto or whatever the hell the Pathfinder's called.
Or the Land Cruiser.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a global product, isn't it?
Yeah, Fujimi made Land Cruisers up until trying to think what year that would be, like late 90s, early 2000s, but that was the end of it. The Toronto and the Hilux Surf were 91s, and that was, everybody knows those kits because American Satco made, US versions of those as a Pathfinder and a Forerunner. But they know there's a modeler's resin of maybe 7 years ago at this point, Hilux pickup truck, but I don't know. Pickup trucks died over there too. The only modern tooled truck in Japan, other than those vans that we were talking about last episode, is the Nissan Sunny that Hasegawa did. That pickup truck from the stretch from like the 70s to the 80s. That there's 3 or 4 different versions of.
But Subaru box vans, they're all about. They're all about.
And I say Subaru sandbars. There's 7 different kits of that. I'll say that's not true because Fujimi made that the throwback. Yeah, the FJ. The throwback to the original Land Rover. They made the FJ, but they never made again, Fujimi. They never made a left-hand drive version of it, even though we got it here.
Yeah, right. I would think the new Land Cruiser would be popular, but I don't know. Just me, I guess. Mr. Duff, wait, looks like we're almost at time. You want to ask the question that we always end?
The question du jour, sure. So, Luke, you're completely unprepared for this, so here's another fun one. We ask this of everyone, so we're not picking on you. The question always is, if you had some sort of project or single model project, it doesn't matter what it actually is, that sort of would be the one model, kit, project, etc., that you wanted to complete, like your sort of, we call it the opus magnum build, it's your lifetime achievement award kind of thing. Is there a certain something that you would like to build that would sort of be like, hey, Luke was here and this was his model that we remember him by?
If I had to build one, it would be the Peterbilt Can-Do Wrecker. It's a I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yep.
I do have one.
Go ahead.
I finally found one. I found it very cheap, actually. It's new in the box. I just can't pull the trigger to build it.
Are they hard to find?
They are. They're. I've seen them for up to $550 Canadian.
Oh wow!
And I found it for $130. But my plan is like 2 lights in it, flashing lights, and the whole shebang.
Have
but
they?
That would be.
Is that a kit that hasn't been reissued in a long time? I'm not up to speed on my.
It hasn't been reissued in.
AMT, I assume.
No, it's Revell.
Okay.
Oh, Revell.
Let's see here.
When was the last time that they reissued that? Is that what era kit is that from? From like the 90s or something?
Yeah, so the Can-Do was released in 93. I want to say it's older than that. I want to say that it goes back to those early 80s kits that were designed in Venice and were molded over in Denmark or Holland or wherever it was. So the tooling's over in Germany. It was reissued in, 2013 as I think it was called. They called it the Will Do or something along those lines. But they were very, very limited production because it's a huge kit. Let's see. Let's open a new tab. And we go over here and we go, hey, let's share this so everyone can see what I'm looking at. It's this thing, yeah. It's a big, obviously it's a class 8 triaxle rotator would be what you call that tow truck.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that the Peterbilt itself goes back into the 80s.
That'll be a project. Serious.
Would you make the
shiny or weathered?
Let's see.
Luke, I think you're shiny or weathered.
Oh, it would have to be weathered. I think anyways. Maybe just a little bit of dust.
Okay.
We'll see. But I will build one someday. I want to make every light on it light up. So
Nice. Would you have it towing something?
Pardon?
Would you have it towing something?
No, probably not. Maybe though. We'll see.
Say he's building a giant tow truck. Luke, would you build another giant truck to tow behind that?
Towing another tow truck.
Yeah.
And say, and in the end, because Kevin Smith said late 70s, the Peterbilt, that original Peterbilt was tooled in 1982 that sits on. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's the old one of the last Venice, California Revell designs that they made overseas. I have the Revell Germany 8x8 Samba fire truck. Dean, they're reissuing that this year, so I don't know that you could necessarily write to them and just get a set of decals, but the whole kit and caboodle is being reissued this year. So, Kevin said, "Is that considered a rotator?" I think it would be. It might not be new enough to technically be a rotator, but it's certainly that style of truck.
No, it is. It has a rotating boom on it.
Okay, I thought so, but I hadn't seen the inside of one forever. That's big boy towing right there. When you can rotate out a 40-ton boom and basically pick the whole truck up with it. or you done screwed up trucking. One of those has come because they're fishing you out of something. You were upside down or in half, or I was just watching a video before we started doing this of a truck that got hit by a train, low speed collision in like an industrial park in California, but it was enough that it blew the bottom of the floor out of the trailer, and there are two big rotators trying to pick this trailer up off the ground and pick it up and move it off the railroad tracks without it breaking in half. So good times. So Luke, I want to thank you very much for agreeing to come on tonight and share with us a little bit of your backstory. And again, Luke is on Instagram at lukescalemodels. There is a link to his Instagram in the description of this video on both of our channels. So click that, check his work out. Very cool stuff. Construction, weather, a lot of weathering, which we don't see a lot of in car modeling, obviously, as we tend to stick to the shiny things. So very neat to see some of that coming through. And appreciate you joining us.
Right on. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Luke.
Thanks for coming, Luke.
Thank you.
And to the crowd, we appreciate you joining us again tonight. And we'll be back in another 2 weeks with another episode. And see you guys on the other side.
Good night, everyone.